لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون صدق الله العظيم. عن أبي يحيى سهيل بن سنان رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عجبا لأمر المؤمن إن أمره كله خير ليس ذلك لأحد إلا للمؤمن إن أصابته سراء شكر فكان خيرا له وإن أصابته ضراء صبر فكان خيرا له أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. قال أبو سعيد رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال ما يصيب المسلم من نسب ووصب وهم وحزن وأذى وغم حتى الشوكة يشاكها إلا كفر الله له من الخطايا رواه البخاري. وفي رواية يرفع درجاته ويكون له مستحقا لنيل الجنة ووصول الرحمة أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My dear respected brothers, elders and friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah Ta'ala has given this blessed month of Rabiul Awwal of the Zulhijjah, and just a week ago two of the main events have completed, the event of Hajj and the event of Qurban. Soon many Hujjaj will be returning to their respective countries. And in these two events, there are lessons to be learned. Among these lessons, submission, sacrifice, sabr are some of the lessons. See, Allah Ta'ala has made this world a temporary abode. We are travelers, we are like travelers in this world. Rasulullah mentioned in the hadith, "Kun fi dunya ka'annaka gharib aw 'abidu sabil wa udda min ahli al-qubur." That live in this world as travelers, as strangers, and count yourself among the people of the grave. So this world is temporary. This is only a station, a stopover to the final destination. It is like a bridge which will carry us to our final abode. And therefore, this world we will not find 100% comfort, peace, happiness, because this world is not like a bed of roses or a basket of flowers, and neither it is a pit of problems. But this world is Ziddain. This world is Darul Imtihan, a place of test, trial, and tribulation. And therefore, in this world, we will find both comfort, discomfort, we will find happiness and grief, we will find rest and unrest, poverty and prosperity, and we will find health and sickness. Difficulties and hardship, we have to understand why Allah Ta'ala brings difficulties and hardships upon us. And in reality, we call it sacrifice, we call it qurbani. As a Muslim, as a believer, we make qurbani, we make sacrifices. If you look at all the ibadat, the farais, salat for example, we for their salat, we make a sacrifice of our sleep, our soft beds. In Zohar, we sacrifice the time spent at work in our professions. We may have customers and clients waiting for us, but we sacrifice that time to offer our Zohar Salah. Asr, we are now ready to pack up. Again, we're making a sacrifice. And Maghrib Isha, we are with our families, and it's time for sleeping, we are again making sacrifices. Why? To submit to Allah Ta'ala. Because we are the Banda, we are Mu'min, and we are obedient servants of Allah Ta'ala. Some similar example, so we're from Subh Sadiq until sunrise, until sunset, we sacrifice our carnal desires. We sacrifice our food and drink. Zakat might not be a physical sacrifice, but is a financial sacrifice. Here we have to spend a little amount of money, 2.5% of our savings, and we are giving it visibly free of cost to the poor, to assist the poor. With visibly nothing in return, but inshallah in the hereafter is tremendous returns in the sight of rewards. So again here we are sacrificing our wealth. And then Hajj, here there's a physical sacrifice also, and also a financial sacrifice. In Hajj, we sacrifice the company of our families. We sacrifice the company of we sacrifice the time spent in our business and occupation. We sacrifice the comfort of our homes, the comfort of our food. We sacrifice the comfort of our country, our island we live in. And not only that, but when we leave our country and we go and we have to enter Mecca, then that same clothing which we continuously wore for our whole life, we are told now that we take off those clothing and just for meals put 2 sheets on our body. Again, we are sacrificing our clothes. We sacrifice wealth also by, first of all, we have to spend for our travel, for our stay. So we are sacrificing wealth also, so financial sacrifices there. But we are making these sacrifices, and we are being patient in making these sacrifices because we know there is an outcome for these sacrifices. We know that Allah, we are doing it for the pleasure of Allah Ta'ala. We know that we are submitting to the orders of Allah Ta'ala. And in return, Allah Ta'ala has kept tremendous of rewards for us. So this world, my dear brothers, is a world where there will be for sure obstacles in our life. There will come very surely difficulties and hardships, situations and conditions which are not according to our will, according to our desire, according to our want. But inshallah, when we understand that this sacrifice and these difficulties and hardship is from Allah Ta'ala, and Allah Ta'ala only needs and only requires good from us. That is why there's an Arabic poem, and the poet mentions, لا يؤخر الله أمرا إلا لخير. Allah Ta'ala does not delay a matter except for some goodness in it. ولا يحرمك أمرا إلا لخير. Allah Ta'ala do not deprive you of a matter except for some goodness in it. ولا ينزل عليك بلاء إلا لخير. Allah Ta'ala, He does not descend or He does not send hardship, calamities, difficulties upon you إلا لخير, but for some kindness, for some good. ولا يبكيك اليوم إلا لخير. Allah Ta'ala does not make you cry, but for some good. In other words, He brings hardships and difficulties on us. Maybe we cry, but there's good in it. There's goodness in it. What is that? La tahzan. And the poet he says, so therefore we shall not worry, we shall not grieve. فَالْأُمُورُ كُلُّهُ خَيْرٌ. That every matter from Allah Ta'ala there is goodness in it. And this is how we have to look at all hardships and difficulties, all things which are against our will or desire. That it is from Allah. Everything is in the hands of Allah. Allah is controlling everything. And there is no need to worry. There is no need to be depressed, because we turn to Allah for the solution. Imam Shafi rahimahullah, he mentions a poem, and in this poem he says, وَلِرُبَّ نَازِلَةٍ وَلِرُبَّ نَازِلَةٍ تُضَيِّقُ بِهَا الْفَتَى ذَرْعًا وَعِنْدَ اللَّهِ مِنْهَا مَخْرَجًا. That upon mankind many calamities, many difficulties come upon mankind, and he becomes distressed, he becomes hard-hearted, he becomes hopeless. وَإِنَّ اللَّهِ مِنْهَا الْمَخْرَجِ. And the solution is only and solely in the hands of Allah Ta'ala, the control of Allah Ta'ala. وَذَاقَتْ فَلَمَّا اسْتَحْكَمَ حَلْقَاتُهَا. And these difficulties, it tightens. Difficulty after difficulty comes upon mankind, to the extent that the rings and the links of these difficulties tighten on mankind. وَفُرِجَتْ وَكُنْتُ أَظُنُّهَا لَا تُفْرَجْ. And mankind, he thinks that now, and he assumes that now there's no way out. These difficulties, these hardships will stick with me forever, until a time comes when Allah Ta'ala frees him. Suddenly, he's free from all his hardships and difficulties. Hazrat Dawood alayhi salam, he used to make this dua. Subhana mustakhriju dua bil bala, wa subhana mustakhriju shukr bil raha. That glory be to that Allah who, when he inflicts human and mankind with hardships and difficulty, he entrusts and he extracts du'as and supplication from the tongue of that mankind. And glory be to that Allah, to that being, that when he inflicts or when he causes comfort and peace to mankind, he extracts from the tongue of mankind gratitude. And this is the reality here. And this is the beauty of a mu'min, the beauty of a believer. That's why Rasulullah mentioned in the hadith I mentioned in the beginning, that the matter of a believer is so wonderful. Ajaban, it's so wonderful. And that in all his matter there is khair, there is goodness. In all his matter there is goodness. And this matter is only with human, is only with the believers, no one else. That when he is granted comfort, happiness, prosperity, he thanks Allah, he gratifies Allah Ta'ala. And for him, in this gratification, there is goodness. When asabathu dharra, and when hardships, when calamities approaches him, befalls upon him, he does sabr and he is patient. And through this patience, there is goodness in him, for him. That is why Shair, he mentioned that, at a point he mentioned, he says, if this touch that bikal balwa, that when hardships and difficulty becomes severe, فَفَكِّرْ فِي أَلَمْ نَشْرَحْ. Everybody knows Alam Nashrah, Surah Inshirah. Then ponder over this surah, Alam Nashrah. Ponder over Alam Nashrah. And what is very beautiful in this surah? إِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا ثُمَّ إِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Fi Shafi' rahimahullah, he mentions this ayah, and he says that the word usra, which means difficulty, hardship, it is a specific noun because it has the alif lam on it. Those who have the knowledge of Arabic grammar, they will understand that this is a specific noun. We call it ma'rifah. So al-usr in this ayat is referring to one difficulty, a specific difficulty. While yusr, which is ease, comfort, is a nakira, is a common noun. And Mufti Shafi Sahab says that in the ayah, in this surah, Allah has mentioned usr once and yusr twice. That usr is with nakira, with ma'rifah, with alif lam. It is mentioned in both ayah, but it refers to one hardship. While yusr is a nakira and a common noun, which refer to many, not only two, but many comforts. In other words, that with one difficulty, with one hardship of befalling upon us, there will be many ease and comforts for us. So we read the Quran and we try to understand the Quran. We sit in the tafsir and we understand the Quran. So why Allah Ta'ala has given us these difficulties and hardship? One of the main reasons is because mankind is in sin. Mankind has neglected Allah Ta'ala. Mankind has rejected the orders of Allah Ta'ala. This is one reason. And this normally is connected to disbelievers mainly. Believers also, but mainly disbelievers. But look at the mercy of Allah Ta'ala in this. In many ayahs of the Quran we will see. Many stories of the prophets mentioned in the Quran we will see. When Allah mentions about the disbelievers and how He deals with these disbelievers, we will see the word respite. Allah Ta'ala never ever in any of the past nations or community, He did not send a punishment or a calamity on those people who disbelieve Him right away, immediately. Never. He sent messengers, He sent books of messengers, He sent different means of warning these people to turn back to the right, to forget neglecting, forget ignoring Allah and come towards Allah. Many a times you will find this in the Quran, in many of the stories of the prophets, that Allah Ta'ala gives deal and respect to the non-believers, to the disbelievers, to the disobedient servants of Allah Ta'ala. And then after all of this respite, all of this goodness Allah Ta'ala give them, when they continuously engage in disbelief, when they continuously engage in disobedience, then and only then Allah Ta'ala, and through the dua of the Anbiya and the Prophet, then Allah Ta'ala will send a punishment for them. So how merciful Allah Ta'ala is. He doesn't want to punish mankind. He doesn't want to punish His servant. He creates means, He creates routes and paths and ways where mankind can turn back to Him. But it is only mankind's fault that he neglects all these and he rejects all these warnings. So one of the reasons that Allah Ta'ala sends calamities, destruction, hardship on us is so that we have drifted away from the right path. We have taken the path against the orders of Allah Ta'ala, against the will of Allah Ta'ala. Therefore Allah Ta'ala to remind us that there is a straight path, there is a path leading to me, there is a path leading to success. You need to come back onto that right path. There is a saying कि रेस में जो है जीतने वाले गोरे जो है या जीतने वाला गोरा उसको पता नहीं है कि कामयाबी किसको कहते हैं. In a race, horse race, the victorious horse, he doesn't know what is kamyabi, what is success. He doesn't know what is success. वो दौड़ता है अपने मालिक के मिलने वाली तकलीफ की वजह से. The horse is only racing forward and running forward because of the lashes of the whip of his master, of his rider. So therefore, the person who quotes this, he says, तो तुम कभी भी अपने आप को तकलीफ में पाओ, that if you find yourself in hardships and difficulties, तो समझ लेना कि तुम्हारा मालिक भी चाहता है. Then understand that your master, Allah Ta'ala, He desires and He wants कि जीत तुम्हारी ही हो, that you be the victorious one. In a horse racing, only one horse is victorious. But in the race of life, each and every one of us here can be victorious. Today we are ignorant of what is success, and therefore we try to choose other paths. But inshallah, when we choose the path of Allah Ta'ala, when we direct and when we submit to the path of Allah Ta'ala, to the will of Allah Ta'ala, then we will achieve the real success. And the real success is not in this world. The real success is that all our desires are fulfilled and we are in total security and safe and peace. Where can we find this? In this world? No. We'll find it in Jannah, inshallah. But for this, the struggle have to be made here. The sacrifices, the tolerance, the forbearance have to be done here in this world. This is the place where we need to make tolerance, where we need to have sabr and patience. And then we will see our success. We look back at the story and the waqi of Ibrahim alayhi salam. From the beginning, there was opposition from his father. There was opposition from his family. There was opposition from his people. To the extent when he started to invite towards the path of Allah, towards the oneness of Allah, they threw him into a fire. Opposition, then the burning of the fire. But because of this hardship, his tawajjuh and his concentration and attention was towards Allah Ta'ala. Therefore, Allah Ta'ala commanded the fire to become cool and safe for Ibrahim alayhi salam. He had to leave his birthplace and he traveled with his wife Sarah radiallahu anha. And they were tested by a ruler. The ruler wanted to interfere with Sarah. Again, a trial for Ibrahim alayhi salam and his wife now here. Again, they turned to Allah Ta'ala. And he was gifted with Hajra radiallahu anha and many other gifts from the same person, the same ruler. Sarah then told Ibrahim alayhi salam, we have no children, marry Hajra. He married the young Hajra and he got a son. He was given the order again, another major trial, to take this new young wife and firstborn baby, take them to Mecca. Mecca was a total desert. No life of any vegetation, no life of being, human. He was told to leave them there. This was a major sacrifice for him again. He left them there. Mecca became inhabited. Many rituals of the Hajj are being carried out in remembrance of the rituals of that mother, that father. Again, when the son became the age of helping and assistance his father, then the hukam of Qurbani, sacrificing his son, came. Again, another hardship, another trial, another test. Again, he becomes successful in that test. And Allah Ta'ala sent a ram in exchange of that sacrifice. He was then given the order of building Kaaba, of rebuilding Kaaba. So after every trial, every test, when he became successful in each test, there was always ease. So this is the reality of life, my dear brothers. We will be tested. There will be difficulties in this world. There will be hardships in this world. But we need to deal with these hardships in the right manner. One wise person, I will end this talk with this quote. A wise person once said, I asked for strength, and Allah Ta'ala gave me difficulties to make me strong. I asked for wisdom, and Allah Ta'ala gave me problems to solve. I asked for prosperity, and Allah Ta'ala gave me brain and brawn to work. I asked for courage, and Allah Ta'ala gave me danger to overcome. I asked for love, and Allah Ta'ala gave me unprivileged people to help. I asked for favors, and Allah Ta'ala gave me opportunities. I received nothing I wanted, but yet I received everything I needed. So my dear brothers, do not be hopeless when difficulties and hardship come upon us. We need just to turn to Allah Ta'ala. We should not complain of these difficulties and hardship. Increase our ibadah, increase our ma'amulat, increase our connection with Allah Ta'ala. And inshallah, the solution will come from Allah Ta'ala. We need to be a little patient in solutions. We make dua to Allah Ta'ala, Allah, it is up to Allah whether He accepts the dua immediately or at a later date, according to His wisdom. He sees it beneficial at a later date, or maybe He removes a hardship and difficulty that was approaching us because of this dua. And if not all of this, then inshallah, for sure, inshallah, we will see the rewards of our patience for the dua not being accepted in the world hereafter. May Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq, all of us the tawfiq to understand.